Hey guys, Brent Chapman here. I want to recap about stage 6 here at Table Rock Lake. What an awesome fishery. The momentum I had going into this event was almost as good as it could get. Wrapped up stage 5 at Smith Lake in Alabama. An awesome event, almost won it. Ended up second place. If you haven't had a chance to see it, you got to see it. The Hail Mary pass, going from the knockout round to the championship round.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
Oh, boom! Bam! Woo!
Oh, how about that? That's like saving the best for last right there. A 313 literally in the boat. That was good, right?
Yes.
Woo! That fish will definitely go down as a catch of a lifetime. I'll always remember that. So I had that awesome momentum going into Table Rock Lake. Table Rock is a lake I grew up fishing. To bring a Bass Pro Tour event there was super exciting. We've had a lot of rain, so I knew Table Rock was probably going to be high. You know what? That might fit right into my wheelhouse. Might mean there's some flipping. Table Rock's got some great flipping. Going there, I had to kind of go in with an open mind and just kind of have a little bit of everything ready because it's that time of year. That being said, we headed that way, kind of did my homework. I saw the lake was like 4 feet high. I knew it could be a flooded deal, bushes deal and all that. So I knew flipping would probably be a big player, and that's what I was really excited about. Practice, I got out there and it looked awesome. Started out my practice looking for the places that the fish should have been, what I was figuring more as a post-spawn event. Fished for several hours, cranking, drop shotting, fishing out offshore. Just couldn't get a bite. And sometimes the simplest things, I'm like, well, maybe these fish are still in the bushes. And I bet I didn't flip 3 or 4 bushes and caught a nice, probably 2.5 pounder. Went around a dock, pulled in, and saw 2 fish on beds. It ended up being way better than I thought. It was just the most unbelievable flipping bite I've seen in a very long time. And literally about seemed like every other bush had a fish in it. Even with that being said, conditions were probably going to change, and I've learned this over time. You don't want to just have one technique to go into an event like this. So I did actually manage to catch a few on a jerk bait, caught some on a wacky worm, and with those I felt like going into the event it would turn out to be a really good one. So day 1, I was Group A, so I knew we were going to get the first pickings of the fish, especially those ones that were up shallow and easy. I chose a part of the lake to fish that I had tons of experience on, and some of those places that I'd planned on fishing, I didn't even practice. I just knew they were traditionally good. So I pulled in and immediately went to work. What I had noticed right off the bat was the lake was dropping, but it had dropped quite a bit. Just in a day, the water had probably dropped close to a foot. Had me a little concerned, but every time I get a bite in practice, I'm saving a waypoint on my Garmin. And I went back, and almost everywhere I had a bite, I was able to catch those fish. I mean, I could call my shots, and made for a really exciting day, comparable to an NBA basketball game. It was like just every 2-pounder, everybody just 2 points at a time, 2 points at a time. And I mean, it seemed like 10 minutes was the average, at 2 pounds every 10 minutes, and I had to keep that up through the event. But it was a good day. Going into the second day, I'm right around the bubble, hoping to make it into the knockout round. I kept myself in the hunt, but believe it or not, they caught them way better than I had even anticipated, and you really had to catch a couple even faster. It's made for a rough day. Good way to start period 2.
pounds, 12 ounces.
12.
Good way to cap off the day. So I made it to the knockout round. What a relief, we're getting a paycheck. But even with that, I had another day of Group B fishing, and I knew the conditions were changing. I'm watching the water level, knowing that it's dropping. So at that point, I decided to kind of recap my second day fishing farther up the lake. So I run up there. I actually started a little bit shorter than where I did. There was a spot I would kind of had that gut feeling on, spot I hadn't fished, practiced on, or anything like that. I pull in there, catch a couple on a jerkbait, catch some on a top water, and then it just kind of fizzled out on me. I started running all the water where the previous day I had all the success and couldn't even get a bite, and I really felt it slipping away. And I knew I needed to gamble a little bit because the weights these guys were catching were just huge. I knew it was going to take a lot of weight to make it to the championship round. I literally went, I think it was 2.5 hours without a bite. Fished the most of the first period and a big portion of the second period without even catching a fish. And at that point, I'd made up my mind. I kind of had to swing for the fences. That third period, I ran right back down to where I did all my damage the first day, and changed it up some though. I'd caught some fish the previous couple days on a wacky worm, a couple here or there, but I was like, I just need to go down there, put the wacky worm in my hand, and try to dig myself out of a hole, salvage every point that I possibly can for the red crest, and who knows, maybe pull off enough to make the championship round. And I honestly feel like somebody sprayed some fish current on my bait, because all these little points, you should be able to catch fish off of every one. Fight when you do that, can you?
1 pound 6 ounces. 1 pound 7.
7.
Gotta start somewhere.
Spot? That was spot or large?
That was a spot. Ends up, it turned out to be the marathon day of fishing. We had storms come in, lots of weather delays that final third period. It took a long time to get that one in, but I got to commend MLF for keeping us safe and giving us that time on the water to let it play out. And that third period was a lot of fun for me because I really got dialed in on the wacky worm. The fish got out of the bushes. The ones that were up there were spookier, so they didn't want that flipping bait in there. But if I could skip a wacky worm up there and work it, I could cover water. I was really getting to where I was catching fish very consistently. I dug myself out of the hole and got pretty close. I think I finished around 20th, and while I didn't make the championship round, I was still happy with how I ended the event because I learned a lot. And I know now, had I transitioned straight to that wacky worm from the get-go that day, I'm pretty confident I would have made that championship round. But it was a great event. Got that momentum, got to keep that momentum going from Smith Lake. Had a great event at event number 6, and who knows, maybe we can keep it going for 7 and 8 as well. So thank you all for joining me, and be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and don't forget to click the bell so that you're notified every time we upload a new video. Until then, keep learning, keep fishing, and have fun out there on the water.